Oh man. The whole point is to share it on here.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Embarrass the shit out of yourself.
Keep the conversation, as random as possible.
And you're doing a fine job on your end.
What's happening, everybody? Jukebox Ginger back with another episode of Stardom. Bright and early. It's like 5:30, I think, maybe 5:40 now, but we're gonna roll with it. This morning, my guest Bret Zeller is with us. Man, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
Dude, it's been an early start for me, but I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, same here. I woke up probably about 3:30 or 4:30 and had to get up and get ready and all that for the day. So,
yeah, your schedule is kind of all over the place. Like, yeah, you're either early mornings or later in the day.
yeah, most days, yeah.
Does that take some getting used to?
It does. I've always kind of been a morning person though. So getting up at 3:30 in the morning wasn't too hard. I can pretty much run off at like 5 hours of sleep and be good for the day.
Right.
But I crash pretty early right after that when I get home. So
I used to work 2 jobs and I'd like fall asleep standing up. My wife would get pissed off at me.
Yeah, no. In high school, I used to do that whenever the teacher would make us stand up during like a movie or something. We'd fall asleep and she'd make us go stand in the back of the room, and I literally would just like lean against the wall and just fall asleep.
Yes, done it many times. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I don't really care. I mean, sometimes I just need to sleep.
Right. I mean, that just means that you're comfortable wherever you are, and you can find comfortability in whatever position and fall asleep.
Right. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, man?
So, like you said, my name is Bret. 32. I have 4 daughters. I work at local 249 Ford assembly plant here in Kansas City. Like I said, my schedule is kind of wompy. I work 2 day shifts and then turn around and work 2 night shifts. So it's kind of different than a lot of jobs, but you get used to it after about a month or so.
Right. Yeah.
And then the other thing probably is I've done comedy here in Kansas City. I've done it in Chicago. And then I'm trying to get into the local film acting here in Kansas City. I'm trying to get that up and going. So.
All right, on, man. Yeah, the reason we met, actually, everybody, is I do this improv show called Burn After Playing, and most of you that follow me know about it. And I reached out to a lot of the film and actor, some of the stand-up improv groups and stuff like that, and I actually had a hell of a turnout. I've got like the next 3 or 4 shows booked. But you're going to be on the next one, and I've got several after that. So it's a good feeling, man. It's fun to just do it. I don't have any. I don't want to say I don't have experience because I've done like 5 shows now, but I don't have like professional experience. It's just, from doing this, I've met so many people and I've just made me want to do more.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Improv is a lot of fun. Just being able to, get on the move and just go off the top of your head with the first thing that comes to mind and just going with it. But you have to have that confidence with it. Otherwise, the audience can see that. So you just got to act with confidence. Just be who you are.
Right. Yeah. By the way, I do love the Fred Flintstone you got going on there, man.
Yabba dabba doo. Thank you. Yeah, my daughter, she's gonna be Pebbles, so I got Fred.
That's good. Usually I let my daughter pick my outfits. Like the last 2 years, I was Scooby Doo.
Oh, nice.
And this year, my wife's gonna be a snowman, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna be a carrot. I'll be your nose."
There you go.
So
awesome.
I usually, I just go with whatever. It doesn't really matter to me.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of like how my life is. My wife she didn't know what she was going to be, and she I don't even think she's really dressing up this year. And so I was like, well, last year we didn't get to go because the baby was sick. So this year I'm gonna go ahead and get me a costume. I think it looks pretty snazzy, if I
It
do say so
does.
myself.
I
I
like
almost
it,
went
man.
I almost went with Batman mask, but I saw Fred Flintstone at the last minute when I was about to walk to the register, and I was like, I'll just take that.
Right. It's gonna be like 44 degrees for the high that day.
Is it really?
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
be a cold. Halloween's in Kansas City are so like vastly different every year.
You're right. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, there was snow on the ground for Halloween.
Yes. Yeah.
I was
uh,
regretting that year.
all right. So for today's topic, I was trying to go with Halloween related, but I kind of didn't have a ton of time to pick a great topic. So I went with, common things that we all do, but we don't really talk about.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. First up, when you're telling a story and someone interrupts you, like, oh, that happened to me, and they start telling their story.
Yeah. So that happens a lot, actually, especially like at my job.
Mhm.
You can really see that, like, almost everybody's done your job is what it comes down to, or seems like. So anytime that you have an issue, uh, and that's with acting as well, like
Mhm.
uh, anytime that you have an issue with something, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that happened to me last week," or
Mhm.
stuff like that, and like, no, the fuck it didn't. Like,
Oh man.
like like your experience is totally different than my experience, and
Mhm.
everyone's experience is different. So like,
Mhm.
what happened to me and what happened to you are vastly different.
Mhm.
Yeah, it might have like broke down on you or something like that, but your
Mhm.
experiences are always going to be different than somebody else's.
I think one thing that gets me really frustrated is when they try to one up your story.
Yeah, they try to like make add a little expense suspense to it, like
Uh,
it's little bigger than what it needs to be.
Right. Yeah. It's like just fucking go do something else. I wasn't even talking to you. Just go do something else.
or or the best part is like you were there when it happened and it's not exactly what happened at all.
Not at all. Yeah. And then you try to call them out on it and they try to correct like what they were saying, but still make it just, more than what it was.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that stuff cracks me up.
And it does. Like you said, it happens all the time. I've worked restaurants for a long time. Where I'm at now, I've worked quite a while, and there's always that person that does it, and it's always like the one person that annoys everybody too.
Yeah. Yeah, they think that their stories always make them better than everybody else.
Right. Are you ready for the next one?
Yes, sir.
All right. It says Netflix should have a category called easy to follow while looking at my phone the whole time.
Oh my God, yes. So this is me and my wife to a T. We will turn on a show that we really want to watch. So like lately we've been watching this show called Only Murderers in the Building, and it's on
Yeah,
Hulu.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That show is so good. So the first 2 seasons, 3 seasons, we followed, really well, and then like the last season, like we are so like not even paying attention, and then I got to stop, rewind it back to the beginning to start it over, just so we can continue of not paying attention.
Yeah. Phones are so distracting, man. I mean, my wife and I are like, okay, we're gonna watch a movie tonight. You remember that movie we wanted to watch for the last 3 weeks? We're gonna lay down and watch it, and we'll
Yeah,
start it, and we'll be on our phone, just like, oh, did you see this event coming up on? It's right, just stupid
right.
shit.
It's either that or I fall asleep within like 2 minutes of the movie,
Oh, dude, I fall
and
asleep
then
all the time.
and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, I got to rewind it.
Well, it's funny. I'll be like, okay, we need to watch the movie on the couch so I don't fall asleep, and then I'll wake up 3 hours later, everything's still on, and she just disappeared to the bedroom.
Yeah, that's exactly how my life is. And then I'll be like, she'll go to change it or something. I'll be like, I was watching that. She goes, no, you weren't. You've been snoring for the last 30 minutes.
And
I was listening. I was listening.
I snore all the time too, and she hates it, man. It's, and I mean, I don't blame her. I woke myself up snoring. I know I'm fucking loud,
Oh
but
yeah, sleep apnea, man. It's a bitch.
It is, dude, and I need to get tested for it because I'm pretty sure I have it, man. It gets so bad.
Yeah, I'll wake myself up like gasping for air and
Hmm.
or I'll wake myself up snoring. So I
Hmm.
mean, it's pretty bad when you wake your own self up from
Yeah,
snoring so loud.
yeah, and I'm not like a heavy drinker or anything, but I like to have a beer every now and then, and like if I even drink, one or two beers, it's even worse. Like if I have any drinks in me, it's worse.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't have that problem. If anything, my issue probably more is sugar.
Really?
Yeah, sugar probably. Uh, they say I'm not diabetic, but there's some questions there. Anytime I eat, I immediately am exhausted after I eat. So
For me,
who
I think
knows?
like, I've always thought I had IBS, and I never really got tested. But like if I eat like within a few hours of waking up, I always get super fucking sick. Like my stomach's always hurting.
Yeah, I was actually watching something yesterday. Uh, I can't recall what it was on, but it was saying that when you wake up, you shouldn't eat for like the first 4 hours or so because when you wake up, your body's already producing uh, the energy that you need to wake up, and that way
Hmm.
you're alert and everything when you wake up.
Hmm.
So like 20, 30 minutes before you wake up, your body is dumping all this sugar into your bloodstream
Hmm.
and to get you the energy to wake up. And so when you wake up and you eat right away, then you're just pulling all that sugar back out of the bloodstream to help digest. And so then it makes you crash.
That makes sense. I don't know, man. I run off so little sleep all the damn time. It's insane. Even my
Right.
days off, like I'm up super early. Like, just like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I am. I got to get the kids off to school, and then sometimes after I get them off to school, I'll go
Mhm.
back to bed for a little bit,
Right. My
or I'll
it's
find.
it's funny
I'm sorry.
because no, my wife she'll be up till 4 or 5 in the morning, and she's like,
Dang.
it's my me time. Everybody else is sleeping, but then like she'll pass out and she won't wake up to make sure the kids get to school. I'm like, oh
Uh,
great. So I'm just naturally woke up early now. Like it's just I'm up by 5 or 6 every morning, anyways.
yeah. No, even when I get the kids off to school, I don't get up until about 7:30.
Yeah, it's not bad. That's not bad. Are you ready for the
See?
next one?
Yeah.
All right. It says, man, staying up all night doesn't affect you. Me, nope. Look at me, fresh as the daisy.
Oh no, that's how I look right there whenever I don't get enough sleep. To a T, eye sunk in, creepy smile,
it's
more like
it's we
oh,
talked about you know TV shows. You ever watch like a show and you're like so into it, you're like, okay, I can run off 1 hour or less of sleep, and then like you got 3 hours before you need to wake up, and you're still watching the same show.
yeah. So I mean, right now is the perfect example, football season. So like
Right.
watching especially the Chiefs are playing or the Cowboys are playing on Sunday night or Monday night. Um, you know, well, I mean, right now I guess now I go to work. I work nights on Sundays and Mondays, so it doesn't really affect me. But in the past, I would stay up just to watch the game. I guess
Hmm.
Thursday night football would be a great example because I have to be up at 3:30 in the morning on Friday, to get
Yeah.
ready. So yeah, Thursday night football, yeah, that really kills me because I'll be up until like 10:30,
Hmm.
and if it's a good game, then my adrenaline's pumping, and so then I'm really not able to lay down, go to sleep until 11 o'clock, and then
Right.
be up a couple hours later and have to work 10, 11
Hmm.
hour shift.
Yeah, like last night I got off. It was like 10:15, and I got home, and it's like a 35-minute drive. Then I
Whew.
ate, hung out with the wife, and then took a shower. And by the time I actually laid down, it's damn near 1 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, and then what, you got to go to work today at 8, don't you?
Yeah, which I'm actually once we're done with this, I'm literally gonna get the kid up and get ready for school and then leave.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, I'm used to it though. It's I actually enjoy doing this though, so it doesn't really it at least gets me started, and then I'll go to work and get about halfway through the shift, and then I'll start really feeling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, like my goal is to push as long as I can, and then like around my 2 a.m. break, I'll drink a energy drink, and that'll get
Mhm.
me till like 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
Then I go home.
I hate energy drinks, but I do drink them, man. It's one of those things where I can either drink 6 cups of coffee or I can chug an energy drink,
Yeah. No,
which I usually do both.
coffee is coffee is more of a thing when I'm at home
Hmm.
and stuff, because otherwise I'll be going to the bathroom every half hour.
No, I do that anyways.
Yes,
Are you ready for the next one?
sir.
All right. It says walking into the movie theater after hitting the candy aisle at the dollar store.
Oh yes. So we do this quite frequently when we go to the movies.
Yeah,
Uh, I'll
same.
go into. I probably could spend less money at the theater than what I spend at Dollar Tree whenever I go to get our snacks and stuff.
Yep. Yep.
Because I get drinks for everybody. I get snacks. I
Mm.
get chips and stuff like that as well. So like I like a variety when I'm watching a movie,
Oh yeah.
especially even at home when we have movie night and stuff. Uh, I like a big variety of snacks and stuff.
That's how we are. Yeah. No, um I'll wear like these baggy cargo shorts or something, and then or
Uh-huh.
like super baggy sweatpants with big pockets, and I'll have my 12-year-old do the same thing, and my wife will have her a certain purse. Like we're just like
Yeah.
putting stuff wherever we can.
I remember a couple of years ago they actually used to let you bring in like outside like we used to be able to take Quick Trip cups in. I don't know if
Hmm.
like your followers know what Quick Trip is, but yeah, we used
Quick
to.
trip. Right here.
Right. It's the best gas station like ever. I've lived in
Yes.
Chicago and stuff, and I've traveled around the states. No gas stations like Quick Trip. Like I haven't found one
Right.
like it. Casey's a second close.
Hmm.
Casey's General Stores is a second close, but yeah, Quick Trip is. I missed that a lot when I lived out of state and stuff. And but yeah, we used to be able to take our slushies from Quick Trip into the movie theater and stuff like that.
Hmm. I
And
think it kind of
now,
depends too. Like I think B&B, they kind of cracked down, but they used to be kind of a little bit more lenient. AMC's always been kind of strict about it, I feel like.
well, yeah, I believe if I'm correct, AMC was one of them that let us bring the
Oh,
Quick Trip
really?
cups in. Yeah, but I think after like the pandemic and stuff, they kind of really cracked down because they were hurting so much. Which
Yeah.
you wouldn't think they'd be hurting because people were trying to go out and see a movie or something like that.
But then
But
I don't think they make any profit from the actual ticket sales.
yeah, I don't think they do. I think it's strictly like concessions
Hmm.
because they have to pay for the movie rights.
When I go in there and spend $18 on a large popcorn and a drink, it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, and then you don't even eat all the popcorn. You eat like half
Right.
of it.
And they're like,
And
oh, if you get the large, you get a free refill. And it's like, what makes you think I'm gonna finish this whole bag of popcorn?
right, half of it ends up on the ground, half of it you get to eat.
Yeah, yeah. Or we'll bring it home and it'll sit on the counter for like 3 days, and then we just throw it in the trash.
Yeah, yeah, no, that I mean that and splitting it with the kids and stuff, like you really
Right,
don't get any of it.
right. Oh, what am I doing here? Okay, we're good. Just got stuff popping up. All right, you ready for the next one, man?
Yes, sir.
It says 8 a.m. Too tired to think. Noon. Too tired to think. 5 p.m. Too tired to think. Midnight. How do dragons blow out candles?
Yes, yes, that is definitely me. Uh, that's usually whenever I've uh, had some me time. Um,
Yeah.
catch my drift.
Uh
Some relaxation,
huh.
and
Uh
so
huh.
then that's those are usually the questions like I ask questions like if dogs smoke cigars,
Hmm.
how big are the cigars? Is it like generally bigger than like what the dog is? So like a Chihuahua would have like a cigar like the size of a cigarette. Would a pit bull have the size of like a regular cigar or bigger? You know, those are like the questions I have with conversations
That's
I have with
good.
my wife.
Uh, It's funny with podcasts. I mean, a lot of people have there's a lot of them that'll have random ass questions like that. I know I had a guy on one time. He's another podcaster, and we talked about how do you hold it? How do guys hold their junk when they're peeing? I mean, it was like a 10-minute conversation on, do you hold it like this? Do you hold it like this?
Right.
And it's just it's fun. It's fun to make clips out of shit like that too, man. I love it.
Right. I mean, I guess if you're small enough, you could just hang it right over your boxers and just let it dangle. If it's big enough, you can just flop it in the urinal. I guess it just depends.
It's funny you mentioned a Chihuahua with a cigarette. Imagine a pit bull with a cigarette. I mean, I don't know if it'd make it look less masculine.
Right. I actually got a pit bull. I have a red-nosed pit, and he's a big boy. And I think that's where the conversation started with that, was because I think we were watching a movie or something, and they had the picture of like the dogs playing poker.
Yeah.
And that's we were like, like if he had a cigarette or a cigar, how big would it be compared to like his head size and stuff like that?
Yeah. I've wanted to venture into cigars, but I never really. I don't know, the smoke, man. I used to go on Tuesday nights to this cigar bar called Outlaws, and on Tuesday nights it was free poker as long as you brought a cigar. So like your buy-in for poker was a cigar, so you could buy a cheap one or expensive one, and you're in this room just playing poker with a bunch of old dudes that just clearly have a bunch of money, and it's just like so much smoke. You can't help but like just drowning in smoke and inhaling cigar smoke constantly.
Right. Yeah. See, cigars are one of those things like I couldn't smoke them just because I would inhale, not let it sit in my mouth. But it smells so good. A good cigar. I love the smell of a good cigar. And I love the taste of a good scotch or whiskey even more.
No, dude, and I'm actually right there with you. Like, I actually have a cocktail smoker, and like, so I'll pour like a bourbon over some rocks, and then you like put this thing on top of the glass, and you torch just a couple little pebbles, and it like seeps into the whiskey. Dude,
that sounds awesome.
It's good.
The bars I go to that I can afford to go to, I should say, they don't have stuff like that. Nor do I have the room. Right. Nor do I have the room in my house to put something like that with all these kids I got.
Yeah. No, this is just like a little kit that you put underneath like I have it underneath my sink, and I'll just pull it out when I want it.
Yeah.
But it's rare, but it's nice, man. Like I like craft beer. So I drink more craft beer than I will like liquor. Those are more like holidays and like birthdays and stuff,
Yeah.
Because my problem is I don't like getting. I feel like I don't know when, but there's a point in my life where I was like, I just don't want to get drunk anymore. So like I like to enjoy it, but if I drink too much, then I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have a headache.
Right. Yes, I know that is exactly why I don't really drink. I hated waking up with hangovers. I got alcohol in my freezer right now from 4 years ago.
Still sitting in there.
Yeah, from a 4th of July 4 years ago. I don't drink. It's there when I want a nice stiff drink and stuff. I'm more of a whiskey. I don't really like vodka and stuff like that. If I have vodka and stuff, tequila, stuff like that, it's gotta be like a mixed drink. Otherwise, whiskey is my go-to, straight on the rocks and stuff like that.
Yeah. See, I like a good Bloody Mary.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the only beer I drink is I like Corona. Blue Moon is probably my favorite, especially with an orange slice. I love Blue Moon. Other than that, any other beer, it sits heavy on my stomach, and then like some of them you have to have an acquired taste. So it's like one of those. I drink it as I'm getting fucked up. So like I'm already pretty good buzz going and stuff like that, and I'm just like, what do you got to drink? I'll check. Pabst is like that. Pabst is one of those for sure. I won't drink Pabst unless I'm already messed up.
Right. I remember back in my like early 20s, we would drink like hams. You ever had hams?
Oh, I've heard of it and I've seen it. I've never tried it.
It's
Um,
definitely cheaper than PBR.
yeah, yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen it advertised on signs in the city too, old bars and stuff.
Hmm.
And I'm like, never heard of that. And then I looked it up. Yeah, it's one of the oldest beer manufacturers.
Yeah. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yes, sir.
All right. Says staring at the dead body in movies to see if I can catch him or her breathing.
That is hilarious because I do that on all the movies I watch.
Right?
Like, what movie were we watching? We were watching a Halloween movie the other day.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I can't remember which one it was. We were watching it. Oh, it was Scream movies, the
Okay.
Screams,
Uh-huh.
and we were watching it. And like after a kill scene, I'm like walking up to the TV to see if I can see her chest rising.
I feel like that's common with everybody, dude. Like my wife and I do it too. It's funny, especially like if you watch newer movies and then you watch older movies. I like to
Mhm.
like catch the differences between the two, or like if it's a low budget film compared to like a newer like higher budgeted box
Right.
office movie.
Yeah. No. That's for sure. Especially like when they're on a stretcher and stuff,
Hmm.
and like you can see like their chest rising up and down and stuff. I'm
Or
like,
you can like clearly see that it's like a stunt double, like
yeah.
being able to catch those things.
Right.
Do you like older movies or do you mostly like the newer stuff?
It just depends, really.
Mm,
Like horror movies, I'm 50-50. Comedies, a lot of the good comedies are back in the old days.
hmm.
One of my all-time favorite comedies is Uncle Buck with John Candy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Uh, like he's just such a good actor, and I like that
Mm,
old comedy style and stuff like that.
mm.
Chevy Chase and stuff, all
I love
those.
Chevy Chase, man. I've actually heard that in person he's a complete asshole.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I actually just watched a show not too long ago called Community on
Hmm.
Netflix,
Yeah, I've
and,
seen it.
and that's in my top 10 movie or shows of all time.
Hmm.
Like it's so funny. The guy that plays uh he was the Spanish teacher, Kim Jong.
Yeah,
Uh
he's
Hilarious in
hilarious.
that
He
show.
is.
Like I didn't realize that his versatility, because I don't, for the longest time the only thing I knew of him being in was Hangover,
Hmm.
and he was really good in that, but like to see his acting ability and stuff like that in that show was really good. And I think that show came out like right around that time of Hangover.
I'm pretty sure, like, he's actually a doctor too. Like,
Yeah, I think he stopped with medicine, and his wife is a doctor
hmm,
still.
yeah.
So
No, he is funny. Occasionally, you'll see him in some serious like bits, but um,
yeah,
he's
he's
never
got that
like.
show.
I know he's got a stand up, but like he's never like the main character. Like he's in the mix with the main characters a lot, but he's never the main character.
Right. I think if they had gave him like a doctor show and
Mhm.
stuff, like where what was that Robin Williams movie where he uh what is it called? Where he was like came in to make the kids happy and stuff like that and did like the clowning and stuff.
Oh, Patch Adams.
Yeah, Patch Adams. If they gave Kim like a role like that, I think he
Mhm.
would fucking dominate. Like it would be a class act.
Oh
Like they could
yeah,
even like renew that and make it into a TV show with him. But then again, you don't want to step on Robin Williams because he was one of
yeah.
the greatest of all times.
Oh man, Robin Williams. That whole him passing was intense, man. Even for somebody who just enjoyed him as an actor, like yeah. It's funny watching some of his old stand-ups too, because like you watch his movies as a kid, and then you get older and you see some of his old stand-ups. You're like, no, that's not him, because he's like super explicit in his stand-ups.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. He's very, very much X-rated and stuff.
Hmm.
But then again, if you Bob Saget was the same way. You thought of him
Yeah.
as America's dad and stuff like that, but yet he had some of the raunchiest
Mhm.
like stand-up comedy, like so raunchy. Like,
It's funny you
dude,
mentioned him because I did follow him on Instagram, and whenever he would tour, like he would always be posting stuff, and
uh-huh.
like super explicit, just real raunchy, like you said.
Yeah. Uh, Another one that was like that, from what I understand, this is just talking to my dad and stuff over the years. Uh, John Ritter, he was kind of like that.
Who's
From
John Ritter again?
he was in the show Three's Company.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he played well, the landlord thought he was gay because he lived with the
Hmm.
two girls. But yeah, he was always hitting on Chrissy
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And uh, yeah, I guess I mean it was a family friendly show for the most part. But like, yeah, I guess he was pretty raunchy in his
Hmm.
comedy and stuff.
There's Pauly Shore. I liked a lot of his stuff,
Have you
but
seen his new movie, Guest House?
yeah, I didn't really. I don't know, man. It was funny, but it wasn't like what I expected it to be.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't his typical character.
Uh,
I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty funny. But yeah, it wasn't. I think it was just him trying to make a quick few bucks or something, you know.
Yeah, he does a lot of like touring now, and again, I follow a lot of celebrities on Instagram, but like I saw him live, I don't know, fucking 8 years ago, and like he was doing a stand up bit here in town, and but he wasn't really funny. He was just kind of talking about his roles.
Yeah. Um, I saw. So I've seen a couple big comedians. One of them, Andrew Dice Clay. That was a
Hmm.
good show.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of the stuff like was he didn't really. A lot of it was new,
Hmm.
that he'd been working on over the years, but like he doesn't do any of his old stuff until the very end of the show.
Hmm.
Um, like the uh, Hickory Dickory Dock ones and all the
Hmm.
nursery rhymes and what's in
Right.
the bowl, bitch.
So when you said you do stand up too, right?
I have done it. Kids and marriage has kind of taken its toll on putting that aside for a while.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
sometimes you gotta do that, man.
yeah, I mean, the kids have activities and stuff like that, and the wife's a teacher, and
Are,
so
are
just
you
trying to.
are you pretty comical with your wife and kids?
Oh yeah, they. So my wife thinks I'm just dumb sometimes,
Yeah.
but my kids, I'll make them laugh. I've even got the 1 year old now laughing at stuff I do.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so that's pretty fun, is
Yeah.
making her laugh and seeing that big smile whenever she thinks it's
Hmm.
hilarious.
Yeah, I'll do stupid stuff for the kids, and yeah, they like it. Wife thinks this is the dumbest thing. Uh, well, the podcasting, she hates talk radio. She's like, I don't get why people think you're funny. I'm like, well, I mean, it's all right. This is
Right,
you don't have to listen to it. It's fine.
right. Like you're not supposed to think I'm funny all the time. Like
Right.
you're supposed to take me serious sometimes, and we have our inside humor between
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
and stuff like that. What I say to other people doesn't necessarily pertain to make saying what you think is funny. It's what
Mhm.
I think is funny that other people will think is funny.
Right.
Um, like my wife has a pretty funny humor about herself, and she says stuff all the time that just catches me so off guard. Like I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And she's like, we ain't got enough time in the day to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll
Well,
be
let's
like
first.
we'll be in the car or something, and I'll see something or she'll see something or somebody, and then we'll just like make just some real off the wall sarcastic comment, and then
Mhm,
we'll look at each other and be like, "Damn, that's kind of dark."
right. So one of the funniest things is, uh, I for a while back I started playing like the slug bug game with my wife and like the
Mhm.
PT Cruisers and stuff.
Right.
And she came up with one called Tesla Titty Pinch. So anytime you see a Tesla, you just do a little titty pinch.
Uh-huh.
Well, the kids were in the back seat one day, and she like reached over to get me, and I got her first. and they're like, "Stop squabbling." Especially my oldest one. She
Uh-huh.
always thinks we're squabbling when we're having like a heated like
Right.
discussion, with enthusiasm.
Uh-huh.
And she did that or whatever, and the kids are like, "What are you doing to each other?" And
Mm-hmm.
we're like, "We're just playing a game." And so they started pinching each other, and like I'm like, and then one of them started crying, and then I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Stop! We can't do that." It's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt or somebody wrecks
Mm-hmm.
the car, like my wife almost did.
Well, I feel like like as a spouse, and like you're allowed to kind of playfully hurt each other, and then
Right?
like,
Yeah.
but the kids don't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, you can wrestle around stuff like that. Um, like last night, I tried to tackle her into the couch.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't having it.
All right. This kind of plays into the next one. Because and this one actually hits home with me quite a bit, and we'll talk about it. Here we go. It says, you ever heard a rumor about yourself and actually wanted to hear more? Like, dang, what did I do next?
Yeah, for sure, man. A lot of it, tends back to high school and stuff.
Hmm.
So like, you hear rumors now of like things that supposedly happened in high school. I'm like, where the fuck did that happen at?
Yeah.
So I'm like, who told you this for
Right.
one,
Uh-huh.
and two, tell me more because I'm invested in this. Let's make this happen.
I did do that? No, that's crazy.
But then again, there were some nights of a little intoxication in high school that like maybe I did, maybe I
Mhm.
didn't.
You mentioned tequila. There's I remember it was after high school. I moved out to Lawrence, Kansas for a few years, and I didn't go to school there, but I did a lot of partying.
Oh
And
yeah.
I remember drinking tequila. It was like three of us finished a bottle of Jose Cuervo, and like for the next 8 hours, I don't remember any of it, but apparently I was just up and hanging out with everybody, and they were like taking pictures of me like belligerent and like
That's
sitting
hilarious.
in a chair, kind of like slouched, kind of trying to hang out with people at the same time.
So there's a good story about that. So my 21st birthday, I was in Chicago. I was going to
Uh,
school out there. I went to Joliet Job Corps, and then
mhm.
I got done with that, and I started community college out there. Uh, and it's cool because Joliet Junior College is actually the first community college in the United States,
Oh wow.
and so that was really cool. Um, and so I was going there, and I had my 21st birthday when I was living out there. I got so fucked up on, I want to say Patron. I took, I did like 10 shots of Everclear, uh, and Absinthe. I was so gone. When we got back to the campus to go to our dorm, they said I got out of the van, and within 15 seconds, and mind you, it's a good football field length between the parking lot and the dorm.
Mhm.
I was already speed walking so fast, I was already at the doors walking in. I woke up in the middle of the night, projectile vomiting all over my wall and floor.
Ugh.
Went back to sleep, woke up, and they're like, dude, you were up all night, like just walking around the room trying to like get in someone else's bed because you didn't want to sleep in your bed. I was like, there's no way that happened. They're like, you were so fucked up.
I used to live
Let's
with
say,
some roommates, and one of them had this lazy boy recliner, and it was
mm-hmm.
always like covered with a blanket. He like hated people sitting on it,
Oh,
and
really?
like he there was this one night we got so drunk, and I like went and pissed on his seat. Not it wasn't with the mindset of doing it, but like the next day I was like trying to say hi to him, and he like was ignoring me, all pissed off. And then I went to work, came back, and everybody's like, "Damn, dude, you really pissed him off." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And like later they tell me, "You just pissed on his chair."
Right.
Why would I do that? I don't fucking know, but yeah, sure enough, man.
Yeah. Another funny story would have been when I was in college. I got accepted into the police academy at UCM, and I got done with school there my couple semesters, came back to Kansas City, went to UCM, and I was dating this one girl there for a while. We broke up. Well, I was still cool with her brother, and me and her were okay and stuff. So her brother invited me to a house party, and I showed up, and we were playing. It was a Halloween one, which is funny.
Shocking.
And so I showed up and was playing beer pong and stuff like that. And I met this chick playing beer pong, and we went out to my car and we were having sex in the car. And my ex found out that we were out there, so she came out and started knocking on the windows and shit. And yeah, me and that girl, we dated for a while after that. But yeah, that was hilarious. I did not remember any of that. But yeah, apparently she was out there banging on the window while we were in my SUV.
That's funny. Oh man, you ready for the next one, dude?
Yes, sir.
It says when you sit down on the toilet and the seat slides to one side.
Oh yeah, have you ever gotten your dick pinched doing that?
Yeah. Yes.
Dude, it's the worst feeling in the world. You can't stand up because your dick is pinched down.
Yes.
But yet it hurts so bad.
Usually it's like with my ball sack. It's like the corner of my ball sack that'll like catch the lip of like the seat as it's sliding, and then it just pulls.
Yeah. It's horrible.
It is. Yeah, those a lot of the newer toilet seats are so shitty made, or they're plastic, and like the screws are plastic and they don't last very long. We're always having to replace ours. Like, I mean, not really always, but we replace them pretty, every couple of years because they're always getting loose.
Yeah. I'm about to the point where I'm about to go buy the damn. Either I'm going to go take one from a public restroom, or I'm going to go figure out where I can buy one. The ones that have the opening in the front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just so that doesn't happen anymore. And plus, those seem very sturdy, like very sturdy toilet seats.
Yeah, it's definitely a common thing that I think happens to a lot of people. And it's funny because that's like my me time though. Like,
right,
I'll be in there sitting. Mom's like, "Man, you take a long time to take a crap," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I mean, I gotta make sure it's all out." But usually, I'm just sitting there scrolling through Facebook or some shit.
Yeah, that's how me and my wife are. Sometimes she's in there for an hour, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I'm just sitting on my phone." She goes, "It's me time."
It's my wife taking a bath, man.
Yeah, but yet the baby will come in and, she knows how to open doors at 1 year old. And so she'll open the door and walk in and just try to sit on your lap, or she'll just sit on the floor right in front of you and just watch you go to the bathroom. Like, do we get no privacy in this house?
That's how our dogs are. They'll just like nudge the door open and just walk in and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, my dog, he's very skittish. I don't know what. I think he has like PTSD. I also have it, so I got him registered as a service animal. But he has really bad PTSD. So like anytime it storms, or like even when I'm watching football and I'm cheering or clapping or whatever, it freaks him out, and he'll like try to bust through gates in the house. He'll try to, it's ridiculous. He'll go hide in the bathtub. Like,
we had a dog named Moose, and he was a Newfoundland and a Saint Bernard mix, and he was like just over a year old, and we had like a 5-foot fence, and he would literally just get on his back legs and hang over it like he was like bigger than a person. Like, he was huge.
Yeah, so we used to have a black dog her name was Daisy, and she was a Persian
Malamute,
Persian, something like that. Yeah, she looked like a damn bear in the night walking through her yard, and she was just so big and fluffy. We loved her, but she literally climbed the fence like a person, like feet and all. She would just climb the fence, go over, roam the neighborhoods and stuff like that. Like the neighborhood loved her, but we had some dickish new neighbors move in the area, and then they got mad, and so then we had to find her a home that was more suitable for her roaming around and stuff like that. So
we had to do that.
Like, we loved her. She was awesome. She loved to roam around. She was one of those sheep dogs, and so like she just loved to like go around. Anytime a car passed by the house, she would chase after it just until it got past the house, and then she'd leave it alone.
We had one of our dogs that we have now. Her name's Gracie. She's a collie and a Pyrenees mix, and
Pyrenees,
she's
that's what it was.
Pyrenees. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
real fluffy, but she has that collie look to her.
Yeah.
She's a big dog, but she'll control the house. Like she's the oldest of all of them, so like she wants to just like lounge around and be just a lazy older dog. And but as soon as the other dogs act out, she'll just start barking and like get in the middle of them and like break them up or like redirect them. I'm like, man, she'd be a great herding dog.
Yeah, yeah, she was a great Pyrenees, is what she was. That. Thank you for saying that, because I
Yeah,
was like, "What is it?"
we
But
have
yeah,
we've had several Pyrenees.
they're amazing dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Very loving, very friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't come around their herd.
Nah, I'm pretty sure she'd be very protective. That's one thing. We got 3 bigger dogs, and then we have a little wiener dog.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I don't think we need a security system. Those big dogs would handle it.
yeah, for sure.
Our wiener dog is actually, I mean, they're only supposed to be like 10 to 12 pounds. She's 19 pounds, so she's real big. But I think it's because she's used to the bigger dogs and how much they eat, so she like just eats right along with them.
Right. Yeah. You ever put a bun costume on her?
My wife's always putting costumes on the wiener dog. We can never find the big enough ones for the other ones, but yeah, unfortunately, Birdie gets the grunt of that because she's a perfect size for all the costumes.
Yeah, no. So like for Christmas one year, we all we get pajamas every year as a family, and we got a little elf pajama outfit for the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Within 10 minutes of him going to the bedroom, he shredded that son of a gun all over the floor. Like he walks out, I'm like, where did it go? We walk in there, it's just shredded everywhere. It looks like it went through a wood chipper.
Yeah, no, my she definitely does not like wearing costumes. She'll try to take them off, but when she can't, she'll like just give you that look like fuck, can you help me? I just don't want to wear this thing anymore.
Yeah.
All right, last up. You ready for the last one?
Yes, sir.
Says me, I think I might have a cold. WebMD. Are you kidding me, dude? Like, I think you're gonna die.
Yeah, so I try not to do that just because I don't want to have that anxiety. However, a few times I've had to look things up for like the kids and stuff. If I feel like I'm dying, I assume I'm dying, and whenever it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
But for the kids and stuff, I try to figure out what's going on, and so like I'll do like image searches and stuff like that or whatever.
Yeah, I know Google's like my wife's always Googling stuff, and I'm like, don't do it. Don't quit Googling crap. Like you're just gonna end up getting it in your head, and then you're gonna be worried the rest of the day.
Right, like it's never a good thing when you have to Google something. So yeah, I mean, I rather just, if I have to call the doctor, I'll call the doctor. If anything else, I just try not to worry about it.
Yeah. Well, man, hey, dude, I appreciate you coming on today.
It's no problem. I enjoyed it. I wish we could have done it longer.
Yeah, no, we'll you're always welcome to be on, man. So I mean, it's I always have return guests. So and especially since we live in the same city, we'll have to hang out and do some disc golfing.
Hell yeah. Like I said, I bought some. I want to get into it. I've never played it, so it's definitely something, because I don't want to be stuck in the house on my days off.
Right.
With winter coming, that's how it's gonna be. I'm gonna be stuck in the house come winter.
Yep.
But like the fall and spring, stuff like that, I want to get out and just hang out. Because golfing is too expensive. So
no, dude, disc golfing is free.
Yeah.
Besides getting the discs.
Right. So.
Well, right on, man. And to everybody that's going to listen later on, I know nobody really watched because it's early in the morning, which is fine.
Right.
But I appreciate everybody. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd still be doing this. But it's more interesting with you guys around. So thank you guys. And Bret, man, thank you for being on today.
No problem. Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties early this morning, but we got it going, and so
it happens, man. It happens. It happens when you're live. Sometimes that's one thing about being live is when you're live, you got to kind of just roll with it. So
yeah.
But all right, man, I'm gonna let you go. You have a wonderful day, and we'll stay in touch.
All right, bud.
Later.